Before we talk a bit about that convergence between technology and politics, I've got to ask you about this news that just broke about an hour ago. According to reports that Saudi Aramco is going to delay their IPO until 2019. I know this is such an important listing for London, Hong Kong, New York, all vying for this IPO. What's your reaction to it?
Well, I think London's the best place for the listing. I was at the London Stock Exchange recently. Look, I mean, there must be good reasons for the delay. But once the decision's been taken, I'm hoping that London, if I'm being frank, wins the business. And one of the things that I've seen over the last period in particular is the confidence businesses have from around the world in London. And the three most important words that I've been saying to businesses is London is open. London is open to business, to talent, to people, and to creativity. And I'm looking forward to when the decision's taken for London to be the winner.
And Mayor, of course, any mayor is going to say that they want businesses, coming to their city. They want investment to be coming to their city. But you're down in Austin right now in a bit of a, I wouldn't say contentious way, but you're certainly going to be going down there, or you're down there already, but you're certainly going to be talking to these tech companies about how they need to essentially better police their own networks. How are you going to toe this line between, come to my city, establish headquarters, do business here, but at the same time, watch your own business so you're not spreading this abuse and hate?
Well, it's great to be in Austin at South by Southwest, not just the film and the music, but obviously the tech conference is really important. And Austin, South by Southwest, is a place where politicians, policymakers, but also tech giants, representatives, startups, scale-ups are present. And there's a number of things I'm doing during the course of my short visit to South by Southwest. Firstly, banging the drum for investment in London, explaining why London is a place to come to if you're a disruptive company, if you're an innovator, if you're a tech company. We've seen in the recent past Apple, the Googles, the Facebooks, the Snapchats, the Amazons expanding in London, but also startups and scale-up. But what I'll be saying is, as we embark in this fourth industrial revolution, the tech revolution, the scale and pace of change is phenomenal. It's exponential. And what we've seen for too long in the recent past is politicians and policymakers vacating the pitch and assuming that tech companies will act responsibly and sensibly. And technology is fantastic. All of us use social media to meet friends, to, dare I say, go on a date and fall in love with people, or to put our creativity up on social media. But we've got to recognise that sometimes social media can be used for negative reasons. Terrorist, far-right groups radicalising people to become extremists, or amplification of messages of hatred where communities are divided. And I think unless politicians, policymakers and tech companies work together to grapple with these issues, don't be surprised if people start putting pressure on politicians and consumers put pressure on tech companies to take action.
Mayor Khan, it's Yvonne in Hong Kong. I mean, there's still people out there saying, given that Brexit is just a year away, that perhaps the City of London or the UK is more or less a less attractive place to hire these high-tech skilled workers coming into the City of London and to the rest of the country. What do you have to say to that?
Well, there are a number of reasons why tech companies, scale-up, startups, tech giants come to London. The main reasons are access to talent. We have a talented population in London, and we're investing in the next generation having the skills for the jobs of tomorrow. Secondly, access to capital. London is a place to come to, cultural capital of the country, political capital and financial capital. But thirdly, our ecosystem. The proximity, cheek by jowl of culture, creativity, tech, politics, politicians, regulators and finance explains why 40% of the world's companies have their European headquarters in London. 40%. Number two, by the way, is Paris with 8%. And so London is a great city to start a business, to scale up a business, to come if you're a big company. It's going to stay that way while I'm there.
Oh, of course, we've seen the likes of Google, Facebook, investing in some big European headquarters in London as well. I mean, Uber certainly, though, has been the big headlight, I guess, or in terms of being under fire under your administration when it comes to being their license getting revoked. What do you need to see from the company here for them to continue to operate in the City of London?
Well, look, Uber is a very popular service around the world. The idea of linking an app to a taxi is very, very popular. But my message to Uber and a message to everyone, no matter how many lawyers you employ or PR experts, is you've got to play by the rules. The rules are there for everyone. And if you play by the rules, of course you can do business in London. I want London to be a place where disruptive companies come, where tech companies come. But you've got to play by the rules. The good news, the newish global CEO of Uber has a very, very different attitude to the previous CEO.
Right.
And the noises coming from him and the language from him bodes well for the resolution of the differences the regulator has with Uber.
So do you suspect, I mean, 'cause they've been making a lot of concessions, perhaps, or ways to appease the transport regulators' concerns, like putting in a 24/7 hotline. Do you think that this issue might be settled within the next year?
Nice try. I'm not going to give a running commentary on Bloomberg what was happening between Uber and Transport for London. There is a legal case taking place, but we're also in constructive conversations, Transport for London and Uber. The message that's got to be heard, though, loud and clear, is
right.
We want you to come to London if you're an innovator, if you're disruptive technology, if you're a tech company, but play by the rules.
Mayor, just really quickly, I've got to ask you this. You talk about the hate comments that are out on social media, and the abuse that's out there. There's also been public feuding, right? And I know you've publicly feuded with President Trump as well. And I'm curious, just hearing about what President Trump is now doing or about to do with the North Korean leader to hold talks. You've yourself had your own special relationship with President Trump. So how do you think this meeting is going to go?
Well, firstly, it's good news. One of the responsibilities and the burdens the President of the USA carries is being a global leader on issues like security. And it is a fact that some of the things North Korea has been doing recently are a source of concern. The proliferation of missile testing, concerns about the race towards the nuclear technology. And I welcome President Trump meeting with Kim Jong Un to discuss a resolution to this, if you like, modern-day arms race. And this is the sort of role the President of the USA has to have in relation to the world stage. And I look forward to the discussion, the meetings going well, and look forward to hopefully this leading to an amelioration of North Korea, increasing missile technology, increasing concerns we have around their nuclear program.